Hello out there, welcome back to another very noisy edition of Greg's Mowers and More. Got a week off work, trying to get a lot of videos caught up and out there, and go figure, they decided to build a brand new grain bin right back there behind my house during this week. So you're gonna hear all kinds of stuff, saws, drills. I mean, they're putting foundational markers in there now for the foundation of the grain bin, which is that noise right there, that lovely noise that I'm sure my lapel mic and phone is just picking up like mad. Probably can't even hardly hear me talking. So that's kind of annoying, but we're going to do the best we can because got a limited amount of time to get content done for you guys. So I'm trying to do the best I can. So please bear with me. I know it makes it hard for you guys to watch the videos. It makes it hard for me to make them, but under the circumstances, I don't have anywhere I can get to that is going to be any better for audio quality. So I apologize before we start. Today, however, we're working on a very special mower, and I posted some pictures of this one on Facebook on a vintage mower site, and the absolute feedback I got on it was astounding. This is a late 50s, early 60s Craftsman 20-inch push mower. As you can see, it has the self-starter on it. It's even got the key for locking and unlocking the self-starter still in it. Apparently this is a very rare push mower. I've never seen one exactly like this in my life. So it's going to be very interesting. I've never worked on one with self-starter before. I actually prayed for that to happen. And the Lord heard and he answered. That's what he does. He knows how to give good gifts to his children that love him. So I'm going to pick you guys up and we're going to take a little flyover on this thing and try and get you guys a good look at this old mower here, because she is a real treat. Now, the backstory on this mower is I got this for free. It was literally going to go to the scrap if I didn't take it. An older gentleman passed away and he left his house to the church, and they were cleaning it out and having like a yard sale. Had all these old mowers in a shed. But anyway, you'll see that if you watch the other videos. There's a Jacobson, there's a Briggs so far. There's multiple of these mowers, and they're just a rare treat, and they're mowers that some of them were on my bucket list, some of them were rather unexpected, like this one. So anyway, we got these nice shark teeth here in the front, 20 for 20 inch. Nice Craftsman plate here. Fuel fill, oil fill, starter, key. The wheels on this thing look a little bit worn, kind of wobbly. This one back here has seen much better days. So we got one over here that's, let me try and get around my truck here because I had to park so close, you know. So anyways, we got one wheel that's been replaced. There was probably a chute here at one time that's no longer gone, but we can see that our top plastic here, I believe that's plastic, yeah, looks to be in real good shape. You got a nice Sears handle here, very decorative. Hand grips are in good shape. Here's the rear of the motor. It says 3 horsepower from the, just banged my head on that, from the exhaust over there. It looks like it's probably got a Tecumseh under it if I had to guess. Oh, there's a plate under there. Hey, look at that. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Let me try to get you in there. Oh boy, I don't know if you'll be able to see that or not. Sears and Roebuck 131.91350. I'm gonna have to do some checking on that. That might tell us the year. But anyways, I've done very little to this. I just pretty much brought it home, dropped it off, and it's been sitting outside. So we're gonna see if we can't get this old girl to run today. That's what we're gonna try to do. And I believe the first thing we need to do is actually see if there's any oil in it. There is. Just right there in between the lines. I think that's probably good enough. It actually looks fairly clean. So that's good. Let's see what the fuel tank looks like. Oh wow, it's got a little fuel gauge there that you can't see anymore. How neat is that? Well, the tank looks nice and clean in there. I mean, there's some surface rust, but it's nothing that's gonna hold us back. That fuel gauge is still working. It's just cloudy. I think I just dropped something. Now, I don't know if you guys will be able to see that or not. I wonder if I can clean that off. I don't know if you guys will be able to see that or not, but yeah, look at that. Float's still working. No fuel in the tank, so that's a good thing. Now, my next question is does this even move at all? Yes, it does. It does move. Alright, cool. So, trying to figure out where the spark plug is on this. And I'm thinking I better take that recoil off and try to lube it. Actually, maybe I better try to get this cover off. Looks like we got 2 Phillips head screws up here. So, let's see if that's how this cover comes off, because I don't see anything else in here that is going to be holding this up. We'll figure it out as we go. This is something new to me. I've never worked on this particular style mower before. And as you guys know, I'm not a huge fan of Tecumseh engines. Well, there's our fuel tank right there in front. So how is this held on? So I'm going to have to do some more looking here. Figure out how this comes off. At this moment, it's kind of baffling me, to be honest, how this whole thing comes off. Maybe the recoil is holding it on there, I don't know. I'm looking for screws and such. And I'm not seeing any. I bet you that's what it is. I bet you that recoil's got to come off. Kind of how it's looking. So let's see if it'll come off. I do know that these recoil starters are, oh, it clicks. They're very prized. They fetch a mint on the eBay. I have seen that. There's that. Okay, now that's loose. I'm going to have to pull my oil dipstick out though. Alright. Oh, that's metal. I thought that would be a plastic shroud, but that's a metal shroud. In real good shape too, it seems like. Alright. Well, now we're down to a base deal here. Down to our engine. Get a closer look at that. So this must be our air filter housing. Alright, I guess I probably ought to bring you guys back in and give you another look now that we're kind of under here a little bit. But yeah, you can see that's an old Tecumseh. There's our air filter housing. Boy, it's got a weird looking carburetor on it. I've never seen a carburetor like that. Kind of different looking. There's our exhaust, spark plug, and then I don't know. Let me flip you guys around again. There's an ID tag on the engine too right here that I'm probably not going to be able to show you because the fuel tank's in the way and I can't get my tripod low enough. But yeah, she's a old Tecumseh. Pretty neat. Alright, I think I'm going to flip this mower around now and we'll pull the plug out. lube up that cylinder, because Lord only knows how long it's been sitting. I'm gonna move this stuff out of the way so I don't lose any parts and pieces. There we go. Alright. Now, if you've been following the channel for any length of time at all, then you know that I like to try to get these things running using as many original parts and pieces as I can. I don't like to, anybody can throw parts at something. Anybody can do that. You can throw new points at it, new coil, new spark plug, brand new carburetor. The list goes on and on. You can throw all kinds of parts at these things and make them run. That's fine. Does it take a little bit of talent to do that? Yeah, it does. But I believe it's more of a testament to these machines if you can make them run using the parts that are here. I also believe that should make the machine worth a little more, just knowing that it's running with all of its original pieces, parts. Granted, wow, that thing's seized in there. You're never gonna know if the spark plug's been changed or any of those things. I understand that, but uh-oh, I'm almost out of coil. I still like to just do it to kind of prove, hey, you know, you can run these things with original parts and pieces. There it goes. Boy, that plug was in there. I'll bet you this thing's got a giant mouse nest up underneath the shroud too. Looks like the fins are somewhat plugged. Alright, got that plug out. Oh wow. Hopefully you guys can get a good look at that plug there. I mean, she's got some corrosion on her, but we got a white mark there like it was burning pretty good. Got an old J8 Champion. Pretty interesting. So let's throw some coil in this cylinder here. Let's give this thing a nice amount of lubricant. And then I'll get my stuff together for my drill. Uh-oh, here comes the freight train. And we'll spin this thing over. We got planes, trains, drills, all of them. The noise never stops. There we go. Alright. Spin that over now. What's going on with this drill? There it goes. Alright. We got her spinning over. Stick my finger in front of that hole and see if we have anything correct. Oh yeah. Got all kinds of nice compression. Alright. Well, just for poops and giggles, I just want to see if I got any kind of spark. I highly doubt it, but I just want to see. Just give it the benefit of the doubt, you know. Nothing. Better than a hand. Okay. Well, I guess that means the next thing we're going to have to do is pull the top off of this thing. So these here look like they're, I don't know, half 9/16, something like that. I'm going to try and blow a little coil up here. Just trying to get those on. to get the top off of this thing and get underneath the flywheel. Yep, not going to run without spark, is it? Not at all. Got a big mouse nest under here, but it does run. It'll cook itself. The majority of the comments I got on this mower online was people's grandfathers had them back in the 50s and the 60s, and how they like to sling the rod out the side of the block. Imagine that, it's a Tecumseh slinging the rod out the side of the block. It just sounds really familiar, doesn't it? Sounds super familiar. Tecumseh things. However, we do have an original Tecumseh here with a with compression, so that's good. We got a much better starting point than if the rod was already outside of the block. Nothing says it won't be hanging outside of the block by the end of the show. I hope that's not the case, but it could be. You never know with a Tecumseh. You just never know. Alright, we got two over here holding our dipstick tube on. I don't know what size they are, but I'm going to find out. 5/16. Chuck up this here. See if my drill won't take those out. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, that one's just kind of spinning in there. It's not good, is it? No bueno. See if I kind of pry on the back side there, if I can get that to come out. Maybe. There it goes. Okay. Don't lose parts and pieces, Greg. Don't lose them. Don't lose them. Oh, there's a nut behind there. Imagine that. Okay. Alright, we got that. So, what else is holding this thing on? Well, there's one right here that I see. Looks like a 7/6. Right here on the fuel tank bracket, one of the fuel tank bracket bolts is actually missing. Imagine that. But, you know, this thing is what? If it's a 1960 like the Jacobson one they worked on, 60 to 2000 is 40 years. So we're in 24. So that would make this lawnmower, what, 60 something years old. It's pretty hard to imagine that a lawnmower is still around with its original stuff after 60 years. Pretty incredible. I'm not liking that. I'm gonna have to take the fuel tank off. That bolt's hitting the fuel tank. Fuel tank bolts are 5/16 also. guess if you want to look at it that way, you're watching them build a grain bin back there. So I mean, you're trying to get in a show with a show. Think about it like that, you know. I guess it's not all bad. Why is that not coming off of there? There we go. Come on off. Okay. We'll just swing that over. I'm going to go ahead and, there we go. Okay. Alright. Little tank bolts. I'm going to put these back in this bracket just so I know where they go. I have a habit of losing bolts working outside here in the gravel and the grass. Very easy to lose them. So there we go. There's our top cover off. All right. And not the mouse nest I expected, but we do got definitely some plugged fins. We're gonna have to fix that because she will cook herself otherwise. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean that out with a screwdriver real quick, and then I'll bring you guys back. All right, got the fins all cleaned out. I'm gonna take some Croil, spray down all these carburetor linkages over here while I'm right here. Just try to give those the best chance they can of working again. And then I'm gonna spray the nut up here on top of this engine. So that way we can break it loose, try and get under this flywheel. I think I need to pop this cover off also and take a look at this air filter housing in here. There it is. Oh yeah, she's glorious. Oh yeah. Been sitting up a long time. Let me bring you guys over here. You guys are missing a lot of good stuff because I'm not doing my job right with the camera. Somebody ought to fire that camera, man. Oh yeah. Ew. Yeah. That's just great. Air filter has left the chat. It's glorious. All right. So yeah, that's just that's fantastic. You know, I can do like that guy does with the salt and the steak, you know, but I can do it with a crusty air filter. Oh yeah, she's just returning to nature. Excellent. I don't have any paper towels out here. I just realized that. That is a bummer. Let's get that, you know. Okay. There we go. Probably wasn't the best idea, but I digress. There we go. Okay. So we got that out of there. Let's try and get this here nut off of this flywheel. Should be an 11/16. That's what we were spinning it over with. Better pick up all these hardware while I'm here. There we go. Sorry about that. I'm just trying to keep everything organized. Oh yeah, right loose. Look at that. Right loose. Take that off. Lubricate down around this flywheel key here. Go. Thread that back down where she's about flat. Alright. Hopefully that's going to crack right off of there. I had a little bit of trouble with the one on that Jacobson the other day. Here we go. Here goes nothing. Not, I might have to heat this one. Might have to heat this one. Might have to go get my propane torch and give her a little bit of heat. Doesn't seem to want to come loose. You get those aluminum flywheels, sometimes you need a little bit of heat. Let me go grab that. Okay. Oh, I realized I got you guys pointed the wrong direction there. Sorry for that. Got my propane torch that's got very little propane left in it. And, I'm gonna try and get this thing loose here. Hopefully it'll come loose. Boy, it's about totally out of propane. Man. Not cool. Definitely got a lightweight aluminum flywheel here. And we don't want to crack it. We don't want to break anything, because if we do, we're going to be up the creek without a paddle, for lack of a better term. Yeah, I got very little propane. The heat will take loose that corrosion every time, as long as you get it to the right temp. And it'll also help that penetrating oil to seep down in there a little better. We're getting some heat in her now. Alright, let's see what that did for us. Bingo. That did the trick. Pop that off. Alright. That's going to be hot. Pull up a flywheel. There we go. Yep. See that coil got all the way underneath there, all the way around that shaft. Alright. We are down to our points and our coil. So we should just be able to, sorry guys, I'm messing up everywhere. Camera work's not very good. Like I said, somebody ought to fire that cameraman. Really ought to fire that cameraman. He is pretty awful. So that clip there needs to come off. Okay, I don't want to sling it across the universe though either. Oh, there we go. Okay, there's that. And then this cover should come up. Yep. And then this cardboard thing should come out. And there's our points. Looky there. And you can see the corrosion on those bad boys. Look at that. Filament up here for oiling our points, or our eccentric is dry. We're gonna have to do something about that. Now I gotta go get my points file because I forgot to grab that. So let me go get that and then we'll come right back. We're back, got my points file. We're gonna go ahead and get in here. I'm gonna open our points up with my fingers here. We're gonna get down in here and give them a little sandy sand. Man, those are so corroded, the file doesn't want to move on them. We're renewing the points right now. My goodness, that's a lot of corrosion on them points. Ooh, those are bad. Not the worst set I've seen, but pretty bad. Some guy was saying the other day, try some sort of blue something or other. I gotta look that up and see what that is. If there's something you just dump on these points, that would be cool. But this is how the old timers used to do it, and it's how I still do it. And a lot of the old timers might just throw a set of points at it. I don't have a set of points for this engine. I probably could get one in about a week, but you know, we're here now, and they look like they're worthy of cleaning up. So that's what we're gonna do. Give them a couple of good flicks here. Try and get them to mate back up. There we go. I'm gonna spray some carb cleaner down there, try to clean away all that debris. We'll flick them again. Alright, I know some guys, they flick those things a little bit and then they get sparked back, but I got the points file. I'm gonna file them. Used to use sandpaper. If you can get a points file at your local hardware store, I'd recommend you go do that. Now we're gonna take a little bit of engine oil here. I'm just gonna pour a little bit here in this cap. It's not gonna take much, just a little bit. We're going to pull this filament out. We're going to let it soak up that engine oil down there in that cap. Just roll it around in there real good. Let it take on that engine oil. And then set it right back in the slot. Go. And that'll lube your eccentric for your points, otherwise your arm on your points will wear out prematurely. Got moving parts, it needs a lubricant, and it's like a plastic, I think it's plastic or bakelite or whatever, right up against the metal cam eccentric. So while we're here, we need to make sure those are opening and closing. I'm going to reach under here, spin this mower blade, and we're going to make sure they're opening and closing. Yep, they are. They're opening and closing. So, before I go putting this thing all back together, I'll set that thing right there. We're going to go ahead and, oh, I forgot to clean the, that's right. You got to clean the magnet on your flywheel too, as you can see right there, it's all rusty. I need to wipe this out and spray it out, because it's pretty filthy in here. Clean that. Ain't got to be perfect, but it needs to be better than it was. Grab my wire brush there, and we'll just clean the magnets up on our flywheel, so that way we can try to get the best spark we can out of it. And that's looking all right. It's better than it was. I'm also going to come over here on my coil, sand the post down on the coil a little bit. Them look shiny and new, knock a little bit of the rust off, just like that. Alright, now we're going to line our flywheel back up. Find a little knot here. We'll just line that guy back up. This has a notch in it as well. Go ahead and go Run this back down. That's probably good enough. Alright, we're going to get our drill going here. And we're going to see if we got any kind of spark. Where's my drill adapter at? Got it. Alright. What do you do with it, Greg? What do you do with that 1/2-inch drive drill adapter you had? If it was a snake, it probably would have bit me already. Oh, laying down here in the grass. Go figure. Alright, let me bring you guys around the other side so you can see if we're going to have any spark. Which, if I've done my job, we should have. I'm going to clean up this spark plug a little bit too. Maybe a decent shot of that, I don't know. It's not acting like it wants to sit very well for it. Alright, I don't know that I'm going to be able to get that shot, but you'll know when I know, I guess. Boy, you are just being a pain. Come on. Maybe I can get you over here. Having a hard time seeing through the viewfinder on this thing. The sun's glaring out. Alright. Hopefully you guys can see what's going on there. So, let's see what we got. Nothing. Okay. Uh-oh, we're dumping oil out. I wonder if this thing is in run or linkage here. I guess it could be arcing out that way. Slow, fast, slow, off. So maybe we didn't get a good clean on the points. I don't know. We're going to have to take the flywheel back off again. Let's try it again. Yeah, I don't see nothing. Alright. Well, we'll take her back apart, I guess. Oh, I got the flywheel stuck back down on there, didn't I? Dang it. Okay. Better zoom you guys back out now. There we go. Oh, okay. I don't know what the deal is. These points are giving me fits anymore. They used to, first sanding, boy, they'd be right back at it. There we go. I used to have a Tecumseh knockoff tool, but I don't have that anymore. I don't know where that went. I think it got lost when I was I think it got lost in the van sometime. Back when I was still working out of the van. For those of you that's been with the channel for a long time. Really hoping we don't have a bad condenser here. Bad coil. It's not very common on these older ones to have that. They usually like to come right back to life. I guess it's possible we have a ground wire somewhere too that's, you know, grounded out from a mouse chewing on it or whatever. Kind of wondering if this points file ain't about half wore out. Might have to go get a new set of them. Yeah, I think the end of my points file is getting worn out. That's a bummer. I bet I could just cut the end of that off and start over. Yep. All right. There we go. Just broke the end of that off with a pair of cutters. Get down to some fresh steel. Oh yeah. She's gonna remove some material now. Alright, how's that looking? Looks a hair better, I'd say. All right. Blow all the trash out of there. We'll try this again. Line our keyway up. There we go. Line up our recoil. There we go. Right. Ouch, that hurts. Okay. What the heck is going on here, man? Still got no spark. I wonder if the plug's bad. Let's check it with just the... Yeah, we got nothing coming out of there. That's odd. Usually I do not have this much trouble. Man, that flywheel likes sticking down on there for sure. I just don't know. It's very unusual for it to not come back like that. Usually they come back right away. Come on. But you know, me and Tecumsehs, we don't get along. I've done about all I think I can do in there. Let me see. We're still opening, we're still closing. Alright. Well, I think what I'm going to do next is try to unhook the ground wire over here. Oh, and I need to pull this bracket, I believe, to get that out. Let me look and see where that goes. It goes somewhere over here on the throttle. Because if that's grounding out, that will definitely kill our spark. I guess I could just remove it right here. Looks like a little 5/16 guy. Or 3/8. Oh, okay. Find something to grab a hold of that with. Yeah, it's very possible it's grounding out. Alright. Okay. Ground wire is disconnected. Just get him moved all the way out of the way over here. You don't want him getting, tuck him underneath that linkage rod because I don't want him getting caught up in the flywheel either. When we put the flywheel back on again for the 90th time. All right. This is why they call it tinkering, because that's what you do. Tinker with something until it works, or until you get so frustrated with it that you can't stand it anymore. All right. Now, the question is that going to make any change? Okay. I'm seeing some spark. I'm going to pick our plug back up, check it again. Because I can't tell. It might be just intermittent, but it was doing something. Okay, we're sparking. Alright, so I don't know if it was the points or the ground wire. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to try that, hooking that ground wire back up. We'll try it again, that way we know for sure if it was the ground wire or if it was the or if it was still the points. Very well could be either. But it would be nice to have the ground wire to kill this thing if it does run, which all signs do point to it should. Come on now. There we go. Got that on there. I'm going to go ahead and put our little covers back on. There we go. Alright, points covers back on. Put the flywheel back in. I tell you what, sometimes you do these and you think you got them, they got good spark, and then you go to fire them and then they lose spark again. It really is really can be a frustrating battle sometimes. And a lot of guys say, oh, just convert her over to electronic ignition, you know. And that's all well and good if you got the time, the money, and the parts. For me, I'm just a poor guy. I don't have a lot of money. I work for a living, just like the rest of you guys. There's that. Let's spin her over now, see if we still got the sparkles. And we do. So it must have still been the points. Thank you, Lord, for giving us the sparkles. Okay. So that's all on there. Now I guess we can put our engine cover back on, or our blower shroud, whatever you would like to call it. And then we can keep moving forward here. Tell you what, that fuel line doesn't look very good right there. I don't know. I would wager that's probably going to leak fuel. Pretty bad. I think I'm going to cut a new piece for that. I don't like doing new stuff, but we're going to do her. So I'm going to go get some fuel line. Alright. Brand new fuel line on there. While I got that off, I guess I better shoot a little bit of carburetor cleaner in that carburetor in, because we're going to try this. Hopefully that'll open her up. Okay. You know what? I think the cover's got to go on first. Alright. Okay. Now, settle down, Sally. There we go. There's that on there now. Put all the bolts over here. And we were missing one of these back bolts back here, which is unfortunate, but when you work on stuff that's, you know, this old, they tend to be missing some nuts and bolts. It just kind of happens with time. Get my 1/2-inch socket out and we'll run those in. Oh man, that guy is going over there with that saw. He's after. Alright, Over in. Run our 7/16 in down here on this side. Uh-oh, neighbor Mark's pulling up. He's probably gonna want to chat. Probably gonna have to shut you guys off. Alright. Shut you guys down for a minute. Alright. We're moving forward. Neighbor Mark come over and he comes over and talks and visits with me when he sees me outside. He's a real super guy. He's helped me out with a lot of stuff. He takes a lot of the scrap metal for me. He gets rid of that because I don't particularly like dealing with that stuff anymore. There was a time when that was all I wanted to do was scrap things, but not anymore. Not too big of a fan of doing it anymore. I'll tell you that much. Trying to get this fuel tank lined up and back on. I wound up having to redo the fuel hose on it. I cut it too short, and anyway, you know how that goes. If you've worked on anything for any length of time, you probably know what it's like to have such things happen. There we go. Fuel tank's on. Not going anywhere. Alright. Drop that fuel gauge. Oh, that's a pleasant noise. Pleasant. Very pleasant noise. I think. Oh, I don't know if I should put the whole cover back on or if I should put the recoil back on first, because I probably better put the recoil back on it first, to be honest with you. Because I don't really want to put that cover back on and then have to take it back off if I gotta mess with that carburetor. But I really don't want to mess with that carburetor because it doesn't even have a bowl on it. It looks like it's just got a vacuum diaphragm, and to be honest with you, I've never seen one like it ever, and I'm not gonna have parts for it, so probably should not mess with that. But I'm gonna spray some lubricant in areas on this recoil where I think it needs to go, just to try to help it out a little bit, because I really don't want to mess up this recoil. And I would try to start this with a drill, but that's just not going to be cool. Uh-oh, I'm dumping stuff everywhere now. Where'd that bolt go? I'm trying to remember which direction this thing went. I think it went like that. Alright. At any rate, let's go ahead and set that down on there. We'll see if we can't get this self-starter to self-start this old mower, because I think that'd be cool to start it with that recoil starter there. Bringing her back to life, you know. I think before I go putting the plug back in, I just want to test this. Let's see. I want to lubricate this too. I want to lubricate it all. Give it all the lube. Alright. We're going to crank it a little bit here. We're going to see if it's going to wheel this thing over. Sounds like it worked to me. Let's put our spark plug back in, shall we? Alright. I saw there's quite a bit of wear on those gears though, with that self-starter. It's got me a hair bit concerned. But we're gonna take it easy here for the first little bit. We're gonna spray some carb cleaner down there, and I'm going to move you guys over to the other side. Right about there looks pretty good to me, I think. So, we got our plug wire hooked up. And that seems pretty tight. Alrighty. Here we go. Nothing. Okay. Sounded like a pop, didn't it? Don't know that we're quite getting enough in there. Yeah, it seems like it's all running back out. Might have to put some fuel in here. See what she'll do. Yeah, I think let's put a little gas in the tank. About out of gas. I'm gonna have to go get some gas today. That ought to be plenty. Well, we're dripping fuel out. Can't tell if it's coming from the... Okay, it's coming out of that fuel hose right there. It's not sealing up real well. I'll keep giving her. Yeah, just saw something come out of the exhaust there. Oh shit. Okay. We got big fire going on here. Okay, we might lose this one. Okay. Yeah, this ain't good. Holy cow. Okay, we got her out. Oh. We got her out. Okay, that was pretty scary. Backfiring like that. We about lost her. I think I'm gonna go fill up a water pail in case it does that again. It's just an indication of how quick these things can turn. Boy, that was scary. Thank you, Lord, we got her out. All right, well, we're back. I think this carburetor is screwing up. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but it's just a constant drip. That's what lit on fire. So I don't know what I'm going to be able to do with that. I definitely do not have parts for this carburetor, and I don't know that I'll be able to get them. I'm going to go ahead and pull the fuel tank back off. We're going to continue to try to get this thing to run at least a little bit. But I feel like for right now, just a little bit dangerous. Because we almost lost this one. And we could have lost a whole lot more. I mean, there's all kinds of flammable stuff around here. Alright. So we're going to take our fuel tank off and set it to the side. And I'm going to try to mop up some of this gasoline. I got very, very blessed that that went out like it did, because it could have just taken off and taken the whole mower and a lot of other stuff with it. I could feel the heat of that on my forehead. She was going up. So praise the Lord, we got her out. My goodness, that could have been awful. I'm almost wondering if it didn't flood out. That's what it seems like it did. I'll pull the plug here in a minute. We'll see if it didn't flood out. But first I want to make sure we get as much of this gasoline out as possible. Because, yeah, that definitely was not acceptable. Wasn't very happy with that. But at least we got it, and there's gas in it. I think that's water. Yeah, that's mostly water. Okay. So I dumped a whole bottle of water on it and sprayed glass cleaner and blew it out and did everything I possibly could to try to get that to go. I think our cable's kind of screwed up too. Alright, I'm going to pull the plug back out. See how flooded it is. Might have to turn this over with a drill just to get enough turns out of it to get it to overcome being flooded. It actually doesn't look too flooded at all. I'm going to put a little bit of carb cleaner right in the cylinder. Probably safer than putting it in the carburetor and having it run out. Put a little bit in there, put our plug back in. We'll see if we can at least get a pop out of it. I have never seen a carburetor like that before in my life. That doesn't mean that I won't try and find parts for it. I will, but my guess is they're probably going to be unobtainium. I really, really hope and pray this thing does not light on fire again. Here we go. Doesn't seem like she's wanting to go. Well, the choke's not closing. I'll tell you that much. I think we need to spin her with a drill. That's my thought on it. Spin it with a drill and get her rotating a little bit, maybe she'll pop. May also have a stuck intake valve on it with it backfiring off the car like that. That's a possibility too. Wouldn't be uncommon for something sitting this long. Hopefully this drill doesn't take my arm off, because This isn't like my old one where it freewheels. This one here likes to go and go and go, but here we go. Not spinning very fast. Might be dead. Acts like it's dead. Yeah, I think my drill's dead. I'll tell you what, I got some pull cord in the truck. We'll try doing it the old-fashioned way. Well, I bought this for a project and I haven't used it yet. This thing's got notches on the top of it. We should just be able to wind this around. Hopefully. And we'll be able to full start this bad boy. Should be able to get plenty of turns out of it. A lot more than we have been anyway. That recoil starter, and with my drill that's now dead. Alright. Here we go. Just not sure we're actually getting anything in there. Might have a bad intake valve on it. Obviously you have fuel or sparks backfiring off the carburetor, lighting itself on fire. Obviously. And I could have swore I saw some smoke come out the exhaust at one point in time, like it was trying to fire. Kind of feels like I'm playing with fire here. No pun intended. Oh, you guys can actually see what's going on over there or not. I'm gonna have to fix that. Well, kinda not really though. Sorry for that. Alright, well you probably feel a little better now. Oh geez, that hurt. Okay. We'll plug back out, see if we got fuel. I want to see if we still got spark too. Just want to make sure. Don't want to leave anything to chance. This thing ought to wheel this thing over with the plug out. Yeah, we got plenty of nice hot spark. Let's give her some more carb cleaner in the hole and see what happens. I would have thought for sure this thing would have popped off by now. Might have to charge my drill. Try it again. I really don't want to pull the head off of this because I do not have a head gasket and don't have carburetor parts. Do not have hardly any torque to come from. especially not one of this vintage. Carburetor is just so weird looking. It's not even trying to pop. Wondering if we don't have a stuck valve. Yeah, it's not even trying to go. Give it a couple more tries, but it ain't looking good. Looking very good for this one. That almost sounded like something. Wonder if we're not getting it spinning enough and enough times. Okay. We're getting somewhere. She puffed. It's off the big smoky puff there, so we got a little bit of compression back in the old girl. And I'm stepping on my own starter rope here. I would just love to hear this thing give us a little bit of run, you know. Make it all worthwhile. All right. That pop again. I think I want to pull this cover off, get that out of there so we can actually get direct access to the carburetor. Looks like there's a screen in there. There we go. Yeah. Screen and a couple of Phillips head screws. Maybe if we can get that choke to close. Yeah, I think this is just some sort of a vacuum pulse diaphragm carburetor. There we go, there's that. Now we're down to our choke. Get that screen off of there too so we don't lose that. Okay. Now we at least have access to our carburetor here. Yeah, it's got like some sort of an automatic choke set on it that's not working. Alright, but at least we can get some carb cleaner right down there into the carburetor now. Go. Try her again. I wish we could get that choke to close. There it goes. Oh, flipping back open though. I don't know if I dare try to hold that with my hand. I think we'll try that though. Still not getting quite enough pull out of it, I guess. Didn't give up too easy on these things, that's for sure. Somebody else probably would have got really frustrated by now after almost being lit on fire, blown up, all that fun stuff. But not me. I'm still trying. You're definitely still giving her a go. Oh man, wow, it about recoiled the rope right back around it. That would have been bad. I think I put her on there a little too many times that time. Okay. Well, we're learning. Heard the pop again. I don't know if it's a lean backfire. Don't know. We tried to run there for a minute. Oh man. Don't feel like I'm getting enough spin out of it. Let's go. Feel like I'm going backwards here. Maybe I should try another knot. It doesn't flip out so easily. See if I flooded it. Almost kind of acted like the plug wire wasn't even attached. This just doesn't even seem right to me. I'm going to give it a little more coil in the cylinder to see if maybe it's got an intake valve hanging up. I don't know. Tip it up a little bit. Not out of coil. There we go. Alright, let's go ahead and roll her over. We're lucky. We're blessed. Maybe we'll free something up or something will happen. I don't know. I'm starting to lose hope here. I really do think this thing should have popped by now and ran. Let's see if we got any kind of compression. It seems like it does. You would think spark plus fuel plus compression. I mean, we should get something. And if that's not enough carb cleaner, I don't know what is. It's only 3 horsepower. It shouldn't take a whole lot to top her off. There we go. Plug wires on there nice and tight now. Yeah, really hoping for a win on this one. But the longer we go, the more it's kind of looking like we're not going to get that. I don't know. Seems like a dead stick to me. Whole rope's not doing it. Come on. You're killing me, Small. Not ideal. Not ideal at all. Should have probably made sure that drill was charged up before we did this. Man. It seems like we're not even getting a pop out of it now. Don't really understand. Seemed like it was so close. If it was a brig, would be running by now. Video would be over if it was a brig, probably. Oh. Come on. Come on, you old scumsuck. Yeah, I just don't think he's gonna do it for us. I might have to charge my drill up and try it again. There's that pop again. Getting one pop. Then nothing. I'm leaning towards the scout intake valve not closing all the way. I know the flywheel key's good. Maybe that's for a fact. Oh, that hurt. Alright, I'm getting tired of pulling on it. I'm going to put the recoil start back on the top. We'll try that a few times. Other than that, I'm about starting to get kind of frustrated. Kind of tired. I'm not saying I'm done with it yet. I feel like I'm starting to get pretty tired of messing with it for now. Wish they would put a normal carburetor on it. But I wasn't even born yet when they designed this and built it. Wasn't even thought of. Making another gas bomb. Ooh, wait a minute, we got something going here. Yeah. Tried to run there. Reaching down, playing with the governor with my hand. That's how I got to do that. Okay, he tried. Huh. Seems like it only wants to idle. There she goes. There she runs a little bit. Thank you, Lord. Not fast enough on the draw, I guess. Huh. Very cool. Very cool that it ran for a minute. Come on, baby, fire up. You are a stubborn old girl, aren't you? You are. Stubborn. Stubborn old girl. Whew. Probably one of the more stubborn ones I ever worked on. All right. I kind of wish that I could hook some fuel to it. Wondering if I didn't use the wrong fuel hose. I've used 5/16. I'm wondering if maybe 1/4 inch isn't more gooder. I think I'm going to cut a piece of 1/4 inch here. Try and hook the fuel tank up to it. See if it still drips out the carburetor there. Try and experiment. There's that. Alright. Fuel tank guard here. Nothing leaking. That might have been my fault. Very well might have been my fault. All right. I wonder if I take these screws out, spray some carb cleaner in there if it won't do anything. Looks nice and clean in there. Okay, that's coming out the front, so that's open somewhere. Starting to get warm out. There's some crap in there. Those are the only two adjustments I seem to see on this. Almost like a chainsaw carburetor. Maybe it's got a high and a low. Wow. All right. I just remembered
remembered that this thing was a hair low on oil when we started. So I'm going to put a little more oil in it. Make sure it's full on that. She's puffing smoke big time. I don't know if it's from the coil or what, but I think we figured it out. I also think I should take that bracket off and figure out why all these linkages aren't working like they should be. Yeah, we're a little low. We're about a half a pint low on oil. She's due that now that she runs. Other than that, she didn't sound too bad. Might clear out after a while of running it. I don't know. It's pretty crazy that it actually does run. Carburetor's doing carburetor things, seems like. I don't know why it gave it such a hard time. Alright, there's that. Yes. Let me, I'm going to shut you guys off. I'm going to redo the fuel line, put the tank on. Because I know this video is going to be probably 2 hours at least. Alright, we're back. I got a gas mess everywhere. But I wound up running just a piece of hose there. I took that tube out. So, like I said, I think I'm going to try to get this cover off so I can look in here and see what's going on. Really would like to know what's happening. Still have not charged my drill, but it's got enough to turn some screws. So, let's go ahead and pull that off. We'll get in here and look at these linkages. And boy, they are filthy. Alright. So that's our kill right there. Let's run our governor linkage here. Opening and closing that. And that should close and open our choke. Okay, so our cable wasn't working. Yeah, our cable, well, it's trying to work. I think for now, let's just try and run her with that off. I'm gonna lube this stuff a little bit. We're gonna do some playing around here. Try to figure this mess out. Why it's doing what it's doing. I'm gonna lubricate all these linkages. Alright, so now it looks like that's open. That's choke. Okay. Let's see how good she's gonna fire up. Why is that not moving our throttle linkage? I think our governor linkage ain't working right. That or we're missing a rod. I think something's not right with our governor. Well, it quit smoking. All right. Why is it not working the governor though? Oh, there's a spring underneath that cover that's off. That could have been disastrous. I'm gonna have to pull that cover back off, guys. Well now, I'm glad I looked at that before I blew it up. Okay. Let's get back under our cover and see what's going on here. Wheel's getting really weak. Really weak. And of course you're going to be right in the way there, ain't you? Yep. Alright. You guys have already seen me do this once. I'm going to shut you off and I'll bring you back when I get down to the root cause of the problem here. Alright, I got the top off and I found the issue here. We got a broke governor spring right here. And I don't know where it's supposed to go. I'm gonna have to figure this out because she's pretty broke, and that's why we're revving to the moon and our governor's staying exactly where we put it. So let me mess with that a little bit. All right, well, that spring was shot, man. That thing was, every time I tried to mess with it, it'd break in pieces. So I kind of rigged this because I don't have any governor springs handy. But oh, you can see where our little kill wire got burned up pretty good there in the fire. So what I did was I took some of my old baling wire and I hooked it up so that way when it's on full, it's on full, and when you reel her back a little bit, she comes back, she hits the stop there. So I think that's going to be good enough for now. Anyway, that'll keep us from blowing her to smithereens, because this does not have a air vane governor. It's probably got a ball bearing governor inside there. But anyway, that'll work better than what it was, where it was just sitting there flopping in the breeze. I'll put her back together and we'll come back. All right, we're back together. We're gonna fire this up. And I just want to double check my linkages here. That should be full throttle. I'm gonna put her somewhere in the middle. There we go. Why can't I get the shut off back? Alright, well, whatever. There we go. Well, it ain't perfect, but it'll work. Our cable's shot, so that's not going to work for us. We're just going to have to tie that up and leave it. But I do think, right now, I think we're about as far as we can go. I'm going to put my air box back on to try to keep as much dust out of there as possible. Then I think we're going to go try to knock down a little grass with it, see how it does. And then I guess maybe we'll try to clean the top up, put it back on, make it look decent. I don't know. I think we've done pretty good so far, all things considered. What do you guys think? think this thing's come a long way from being set on fire, don't you? Isn't wanting to fit on there very good with that new piece of fuel hose. Not going to be perfect. But we'll do the best we can with her. Not like you can just go to a store and I might be putting that on backwards. Yeah, I think I'm putting that on upside down. Sorry. It's not like you can just go to a store and pick up parts for something that's old anymore. Spark plug, sure. Fuel filter, absolutely. You're sure not going to find linkage parts. You're not going to find an air filter for this at your local store, I guarantee you that. Unless you got a small engine shop that's been in business since the 60s and 70s, which, let's just be real, most of those mom and pop shops are long gone by now. It's a sad thing. Very sad thing the way all that left, because everybody wanted to go to, you know, order online, ship to store, whoever's got it cheapest. You guys know what I'm talking about, don't you? You know what I'm saying. Oh. Alright, there's that. So I do believe we're ready to go find somewhere to try to knock down a little bit of grass with this thing. I'm gonna wire that throttle cable up out of the way a little bit here so it doesn't get in our way. Yeah. Pretty stoked. I was starting to doubt pretty highly that this thing was even going to run, and it actually runs pretty good. It really does. Alright, let me figure out what we're going to mow. I think we'll go out by the peach trees with it. Let me see if we lost a lot of gas. Let me see how much is in there. That should be enough for what we're going to do. Alright, I'll meet you over by the peach trees. Alright, we're out here by the peach trees. We got some pretty tall grass here. We're going to try to fire this thing up. I didn't want to put the other top back on it yet because I want to be able to reach that governor linkage. So, let's see if she'll pop right off for us. Yeah. Wide open. We don't want to be wide open. There we go. Oh, okay. Forgot to bring a screwdriver to shut that off. She might win the low idle contest. I don't know. Come on. There we go. All right. I'll see you guys back over at the table. I got one more thing I want to do. All right, well, we're back and there's only a couple more things I want to do. I kind of want to try to clean it up a little bit. I want to see what she's going to look like if I clean her up some. This spray away glass cleaner is pretty good stuff. It's not the greatest degreaser, but we're going to use it as such for right now because I'm not a degreaser. Just kind of want to know what's underneath here, you know? How much paint's gone? How much is still there? She's pretty grimy though. Good bath and a pressure washer would probably do her some good. I think she'd clean up though. Try clean up and look all right. With a good bath. Yeah, you can see that makes a world of difference already. It sure does. Okay. Well, now this old cover, I'm real curious about. Real curious. Oh man, that's gonna clean up. That's probably gonna clean up real nice. That's a lot of dust and dirt on that cover. Probably would have been better running it under the garden hose. And I still might. I bet this was a looker back in the day. Yeah, we got some paint cracking and coming off. For something 60 years old, it's pretty incredible. Still kind of shiny. Pretty awesome. That is a neat piece of sheet metal work right there. Yeah. I mean, if I really worked at that, I could make that look pretty good. Yeah. Boy, oh boy. Let's put that back on. Let's put that back on and complete the ensemble here, shall we? Let's put the skirt back on this old girl. not perfect. Not by a long shot, but just the fact that we got her running, it mowed, it exists, I would have to say that's pretty incredible in and of itself. Pretty incredible. Like I said, the guy that had this mower, he about had to be a collector or a mechanic of some sort for these to come back like they have. And yeah, this one fought us a little bit, but it didn't. It could have been a lot worse. We could have had to get into valves. Come on, finally, there we go. We could have had to get into valves, everything else. And we didn't. A little bit of ignition work. You know, a little ignition work, a little fuel work. Should come right back around on us. What a treasure. What a treasure. Pretty amazing, I think. I don't know about you guys, but she's a pretty neat old girl. And I think I'll probably find a good home for it. When it all boils down to it, we're all just really temporary caretakers of these things anyways. They go from one person to the next, generation to generation, until they don't anymore. Alrighty. So we got our mower put back together. She's complete. Pretty amazing. Pretty amazing how that thing come back out. Can you just imagine buying this thing brand new back then in the 50s or the 60s and how this thing shined like a diamond? Winding that recoil up, popping her off on a Sunday afternoon in the middle of a subdivision somewhere, and all the other neighbors are looking at you with their real mowers. Yeah. That's vanity at its finest, which, you know, it's against the Lord. I'm not going to lie about that to you. But still a nice thought, you know, somebody taking some pride in their work's not against the Lord. But what can we say then? I mean, the trials and tribulations are real, I'm telling you. This is an amazing blessing from the Lord for sure, to be able to even see a piece of equipment like this. Usually you'd only see this in a museum. And here we got her running, we got her working, we got her mowing. And you even got to see me almost perish in the flames. Which, when you boil it all down to it, that's pretty much what we deserve as sinners. The wages of sin is death, the Bible says. Sin is the transgression of God's law. Things that God doesn't like, doesn't care about. God is holy. Sin cannot stand in the presence of God. Now, there's no one who is righteous, not one, the Bible says. I'm not righteous, you're not righteous. Some people think they're righteous. So, we're all sinners, we all fall short. And God knew that. So he had a plan from the very fall of man, when they first ate the apple in the garden, to redeem mankind to himself. And that plan went through several stages. It went through the Levitical priesthood, where they sacrificed animals. Then later on, God sent his only son, born of a virgin, became incarnate, became Emmanuel, God with us. And he sacrificed himself as the ultimate sacrificial lamb to atone for your sins and my sins. The entire sins of the world, it says, he took on. They literally hung him on a tree, naked, cast lots for his clothes. They beat him. They put a crown of thorns on his head. Just awful, awful stuff. Made him carry his own tree, if you will, right to the spot of his death. I think if more people would reflect on just what that means, I think we'd see a lot less of the things we see going on in the world today. Lying, stealing, cheating, adultery, divorce, abortion. They're all abominations to God, every one of them. He's not happy with those things. In fact, it hurts him. It wounds God. It makes him sorry. It makes him sad. When you grieve, he grieves. He grieves for you. He's standing there always at an arm's notice just waiting for you to turn to him. Just wait, praying and hoping that you turn to him and accept the free gift of Jesus Christ. Ask him into your heart as your Lord and Savior. Turn from your sins. Keep the commandments of God. That's all you're asked to do. He doesn't require perfectness. No one's perfect. He knows that. He created us. The Bible says, before you were formed in the womb, I knew you. It's amazing. He knows the number of hairs on your head. Please turn to him today. Accept him as your Lord and Savior. I really appreciate you guys watching. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day and God bless you.